More on the Ebola epidemic. I'm joined by Dr. Arthur Caplan. He's the Medical Ethics Director at New York University's Langone Medical Center. Dr. Caplan, thanks for being on the program with us.
Thanks for having me.
So let's start with the case of this nurse assistant in Spain. She had contact with two infected priests. From what I understand, she did have protective gear on. Her skin was covered. So what happened here? What went wrong?
Well, what might have gone wrong, and we don't know, but it's very difficult to get the equipment off. That's part of the problem with this equipment. You can put it on, it can be very protective, but if you don't follow very strict protocols in removing it, you might expose yourself to something that's gotten on the gown or gotten on the goggles. I don't know that that happened, but that is one big problem with this equipment. It's hard to get it on, it's hard to take it off.
So they've put this woman in isolation, quarantined her husband and two other people, and they've gotten a court order to euthanize her dog. Why her dog?
It turns out that just like infection can go from bats to deer, from bats to other animals, it could possibly go to the dog. The dog biology is not different from the human, so sadly, tragically, I think they're worried that there might be an infectious animal around, and that's what's leading them to take that action.
So the Texas Ebola patient, Thomas Eric Duncan, and an NBC journalist, from what we understand, they're now getting this experimental drug. What can you tell us about this drug, and how is it different from ZMapp?
Well, the drug is one that's been around for a little bit, and interestingly enough, it was developed as an antidote to smallpox. It was developed with support from the U.S. military. That's why we have it. It is a broad spectrum drug, meaning it kills lots of viruses. It's been used in some children who've had other viruses, not Ebola, but some other nasty ones, with a little bit of success. So the hope is this drug might wind up killing a wide variety of viruses. We don't know that. It's a hope. And so they're going to try it here. The difference between this and ZMapp, for what really counts for viewers, is there's more of it. ZMapp is gone. We didn't have much of it to begin with. That was a more difficult drug to make, and it's going to take a while to get that back online. We still don't really know if that worked either. This drug, we've got a bigger supply, so worth trying. We'll have to watch carefully to see whether it does any good.
Dr. Caplan, we've heard from health experts over and over that this Ebola virus is spread only through physical contact with individuals who are already showing symptoms. But I was reading an article in the Los Angeles Times today, and some scientists aren't ruling out the possibility that it could spread through air in very tight, small quarters. Do you agree or disagree?
It's possible. I think you'd have to be very tight and very close. The reason is, unlike the viruses for cold and flu and respiratory diseases, this one's a big virus. It's physically a big thing, so it doesn't go very far because it falls to the ground or falls on your clothes because it's got a lot of weight. That's what's keeping it from being airborne. So the physics of it, if you want to put it very simply, gravity is our friend in this. It prevents it from traveling far through the air. On the other hand, if you're nose to nose, if you're lying next to someone when they're asleep, that sort of thing, well, I wouldn't doubt that that might be a possible transmission route.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Arthur Caplan.
My pleasure.
Thank you.